with a record of 2-1, 125 pounds, 5 feet, 6 inches tall, representing McMahon and Wildman, it's Chari Muraski!
And Chari Muraski has not taken her eyes off Andrea Kate the entire time she's been standing there.
With an undefeated record of 3-0, representing the Grindhouse in Billings, Montana, 125 pounds, 5 feet 2 inches tall, it's Andrea K.O. Kate!
K.O. Kate looking very relaxed over there, but you're absolutely right. Muraski, I would not say that she looks relaxed, but she certainly looks ready.
She looks focused would be the word I would use, Dave. She's focused on Andrea Kate. She did not take her eyes off her this entire time. Kate, a formidable opponent. We'll see how this one shakes out. Both fantastic fighters. A great matchup put on by Fusion Fight League tonight.
The referee for this one again, Jeff Hoiby, as he will be back in the ring. He's checking with the fighters, and we are underway.
Kicking off round one.
Fighters get in the middle, and Muraski goes right after her.
Big kick.
On the ground very, very quickly.
Big kick caught by Muraski, and she's got her on the ground right away. Turning, working to pass that guard of Kate. Kate continues to work her guard. Got a knee through the center, working to pass. Landing some good punches on the way.
Muraski got her on the ground, landed some shots to the head there, and trying to get in close where she can maybe try and get a submission here early on in this one, but content to just wail away on that forehand if she can't get the submission.
She's settling in. She's setting that knee beautifully, working to pass the guard, landing shots in between. This is MMA at its best. She's representing very well for McMahon Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and Team Wildman out of Denver, Colorado, and continues to pour it on, Dave.
She backs away for just a moment, sort of taunting Kate, trying to get her to get up. She refuses to do so, content to play on her back.
And she passes the guard of Andrea K.O. Kate, landing some good shots from here. Watch for her to set up a submission. I tell you what, she is slick. Kate using the wall to wall walk, trying to upset the positioning of Chari Muraski.
Nice right hand there from K.O. Kate, as she did get a shot to the head there on Muraski.
Big shots coming down from Chari Muraski as she passes it. Looks like she's back into a half guard position, but continues to pour it on. Big shoulder pressure. If you've never been under a shoulder like that, tell you what, your head's twisted, shutting off your carotid artery. I mean, that is an uncomfortable position. Kate brings back with her guard. Some up kicks from Kate, and a big kick from Muraski from the top.
Literally kicking her butt here and swinging in there, but some big shots to be sure. And K.O. Kate trying to get her on the ground, not really able to do it. Muraski jumps in, but certainly thus far she has been the dominant force in this round, no question.
And that knee through the center. Muraski passes the mount. She's going to work to take her back. Let me tell you something. Andrea K.O. Kate does not want Muraski on her back. Good job turning back in. She's fighting through it. She needs to work to her hip, work to get back to a half guard position. She's kind of stuck in mount here. Muraski working for the finish.
And keep in mind, this is an amateur fight, so the referee probably a little quicker trigger than he might have on the pro fights later in the card.
Muraski working for a finish. She's pouring it on. Looking for it. She's going to look to keep her. She's keeping her in mount. Kate needs to hip escape. She needs to be getting back to half guard. She needs to be improving her position. And armbar thrown on by Muraski. Continues to pepper her with punches, trying to set up that armbar. Kate is in a desperate situation here. Landed some punches, but she needs to watch that arm. 10 seconds. We'll see if she can escape.
See whether or not
only 10 seconds. That is tight. Can't see where she's at.
And they made it through that first round.
The bell is
these ladies in the
excellent
title fight for 125
beautifully set up armbar by Chari Muraski.
Twist Flooring Contractors.
Wasn't quite able to pull it out by the end of that first round.
I tell you what, fantastic refereeing done here tonight, letting these guys fight. She escaped the position. She got into an armbar, and she was able to make it out to the bell.
Well, that really has kind of been the story as far as the referees have been concerned all night. In the amateur fights, they have stopped a couple of them, but they, for the most part, have tried very hard as long as there's nobody in physical danger. Pain is one thing. You're going to hurt when you get done, but they don't want anybody getting injured.
And I tell you what, Dave Blubaugh, masterful coach. This guy knows it all. He is an encyclopedia of knowledge out of Grindhouse MMA. Will Grinder Grundhauser over in Andrea K.O. Kate's corner. Guarantee you they're letting her know some great advice, telling her some great advice on the ground, maybe telling her to stay off the ground. And Thomas Wildman Denny in the corner of Sherry Muraski, no doubt giving great coaching over there. So we'll see how the strategies change for the second round of this women's title fight.
Well, and a lot of action in that first round, and this one could go 5. So you got to keep that in mind as well. That whether or not you can keep up, Muraski's certainly the more active fighter in that first round, and I would be surprised if she did not get win on the judges' cards.
Kicking out for that too. Kate drops her with a leg kick. Just took out her leg there. Muraski trying to work back her position. Kate trying to work around to the back. You do not want Andrea K.O. Kate on your back. Watch for this knee bar. Watch for this knee bar by Muraski. She comes up, comes on top, is landing big punches on Andrea K.O. Kate.
K.O. Kate just getting absolutely peppered every time she gets on her back right now. As Muraski doing a great job maintaining what has been thus far a pretty dominant performance.
And she's got to watch this arm triangle. Muraski is setting up here. She's got her head down. She's got the arm in the right place. She's working on setting that up, landing some great knees to the arms, great knees to the body. And these add up. I tell you what, you think they're blocked by putting your arm there, but they add up, especially in a 5-round fight.
So Muraski's still the dominant fighter in this one, but as we've seen already tonight, just because you've been dominant,
Muraski's got to watch her arm here. Watch her arm here. Looks like she's almost out of it, pulling her arm out. Andrea K.O. Kate working on that arm bar.
Doing a nice job grabbing it. It takes a wicked shot there from Muraski as the two fighters tied up on the ground.
And they're right in front of us, Dave. Muraski is out, and she fights to get the top position.
K.O. Kate's strangely content, it seems like, to play from her back. A risky move given Muraski's bad.
Silvio Bearing Jiu-Jitsu, these guys are ready off their back. Progressive guard, they drill it all the time. They work it all the time. They're ready to fight from all positions. And off their back, they are especially skilled.
And just a little bit of a surprise with Muraski and her experience in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. You would think a somewhat risky move for K.O. Kate, but certainly watching the first round and a half of this fight, no question, she is content to fight from the ground.
Oh, Kate's no slouch.
No.
She puts in her work. She's got great jiu-jitsu coming out of Grindhouse. Yeah, you see Team Silvio Bearing on her banner there. Great school, great affiliation, fantastic. And these two are trading out. Good trip by Muraski. She works in. She's going to cut that knee in again. She's going to cut that knee, pin the hips, and she passes into side control. Great positioning, great control on the ground from Sherry Muraski.
And Muraski's still on top, probably leading in this round as well. She certainly has been the more active of the two fighters here in the first round and a half, 2 rounds.
And she works to knee on belly. Watch her spin for this arm bar if Kate gives up her arm. She passes slick into mount, and she's starting to pour it on for mount. Kate covering up. She's got to defend herself.
10 seconds.
10 seconds again. Muraski's going to pour it on in this second round and finish with an exclamation mark.
They're taking it to the third round.
And we saw that earlier, that when you're in that position where you can sort of dictate the way things are going, they do hear that stick go for the last 10 seconds of the round, and you really do see a lot of action at the end. I think you're exactly right. You said it earlier. You never want to let it go to the judges' cards. But if it does, there are things that you can do. I don't want to say to manipulate the score, because you're not. It's a subjective thing.
To earn the score.
But, you do want to make sure that you leave the right impression in the minds of the judges before they're writing down
Absolutely.
thumbs up, thumbs down on who wins a round.
Absolutely. And I would say, as unofficial as they are, my scorecard, it's 2 in the books for Sherry Muraski.
Yeah.
Andrea K.O. Kate down 2 here. She's going to need to win all 3 of the next rounds or get a finish here.
Or get a finish, and I'm sure that's what her corner over there is telling her. Working the corner over there. If the fighters need it, is James Kirkpatrick, Mike Lopez in the blue corner over here. For the most part, all of the fighters have had their own corner people thus far. On the other hand, most of our out-of-town fighters still to come. So whether or not they brought coaches with them, we will have to see. So if those guys do end up working the corners, we're sure we get another shout-out to them.
This is proving to be another excellent fight put on by Fusion Fight League. Sherry Muraski versus Andrea K.O. Kate. Let's see round 3. Another big leg kick. You saw Kate drop her with that leg kick in the second round. You can see her coming out and putting on that same strategy. Kate back to her back. Great takedown by Chari Muraski.
But Muraski back on top, as she has been for basically the entire fight. It doesn't look like KO Kate is really too much the worse for wear as far as injury to her head or face. But certainly the number of times that she has been hit and the amount of time she's spent on her back in this fight's got to be adding up and taking a toll.
Absolutely. Did a great job stifling the striking. Great job on defense by Andrea KO Kate. But defense doesn't win the fight, Dave, so she really needs to pour on something, show the judges something, that she is able to stay in this fight and she has the potential to win. Defense is not going to win the fight. She needs to start doing some offense. Hip escape. Muraski continues to pour it on and pass him out.
So Muraski remains on top, just pounding away at both the head and face of KO Kate.
She's got to defend herself. Muraski working for the finish here. Working into the finish here. She might get it.
But she's got a whole lot more than 10 seconds left in the round as she begins to pour it on, and she knows she's got her in trouble, does not want to let her get up, and she's just kind of pouring it on, wondering how many times do I have to hit her. But KO Kate's still active down there, moving around, and the referee saying she doesn't appear to be in too much trouble, so I'm going to let her fight.
She's got to answer, though, Dave. She's got to work to hip escape to improve her position. She's not taking huge shots here, but they add up, and she takes too many. And Muraski pouring it on for the finish here. If she got to watch if she doesn't get it, if she pours out her gas tank, but she is working for it. And Kate continuing to work, continuing to try to defend, but she's got to intelligently defend herself. She's working around. She gives up her back here. Always a danger in giving up your back. But I tell you what, she's staying in it. The heart shown by Kate is impressive here.
And you called it a moment ago. Muraski seemingly tiring just a little bit, and Kate.
And she stops it! Over. She stops it. Chari Muraski earns her victory in the Fusion Fight League cage and improves her record to 3-1.
And Kate's still down on the canvas, so hopefully she is okay. She is also a pretty young fighter at 20 years old. Came in 3-0.
And this is an emotional thing. You put your heart and soul on the mats every single day. You go through that process of training for a fight, fighting every single day in the grindhouse. They're working hard. They have an excellent team. They're working hard every single day. This is a big disappointment for her, but she's going to learn from this. On the flip side, Chari Muraski out of Team Wildman, McMahon Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Huge win for her in the Fusion Fight League cage. Great showing of her Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Great showing of her positioning on the ground. Great striking, and earned her victory here tonight at Fusion Fight League.
So they're waiting for the fighters to come together at the center of the ring. Obviously, no question about what happened in that one, but...
And Kate, very emotional, understandingly so. You work so hard. These fighters train day in and day out, pour their heart, blood, and sweat out on these mats, training for these fights. And to take a loss, it's a big deal. It's a big deal. You don't see it going that way.
No, you don't, and probably...
All right, fighters to the center of the cage here, please, in this fight. Brought to you by Dahlquist Flooring Contractors. Your winner by referee stoppage due to strikes.
But you learn from
it. Out of the blue corner, it's Chari Muraski.
But she's going to learn from this fight. She's going to come back stronger, Dave.
125-pound title holder, Chari. As they put the belt on you there, do you have anything you'd like to say?
I want to say thank you to all my coaches, Thomas Denny, Finney, McMahon couldn't be here, all my training partners. Special thank you to Andrea for taking the fight, and thank you to all your fans and everyone for putting it on.
Excellent. Give it up for Chari Muraski.
Chari Muraski, your new champion.